Hi, I'm Eddie Vane, and today I'm going to be teaching you a lot about sustainability and how to cook a really delicious six-course meal. So me and my class learned about sustainability over the course of the year, and we've recently been learning about local foods. For me, local means as close as you can get the ingredient. So if I'm getting shrimp that we're going to be using on two of our dishes from the Gulf, that's fine with me, as long as they didn't come from I don't know, Ecuador or something like that. And we also learned about farm to table, which is where people are, which is a certain kind of restaurant where they only get their produce local. And I interviewed the restaurant Wink, and the person who I interviewed, Mark Paul, told me that their food is much better when it's, let's say they're using carrots. It's much better using carrots that came out of the ground yesterday and were picked 3 blocks away than carrots that were picked half a world away 3 months ago. So we also learned a lot of stuff about organic farming, which means that when you farm, you don't use pesticides or GMOs, genetically modified organisms, to make your plants grow faster or so that bugs won't eat them, because sometimes the GMOs can harm you. And although it's not always, sometimes they do, and people are starting to take up organic farming. So for our first course, we're going to be making, I guess you could call it a crostini. It's a classic French dish. You have a slice of baguette and you spread some sweet butter on it, put some radishes on top, some sliced radishes, and sprinkle it with some sea salt. And I thought that, radishes, I had bought some at Green Gate Farm, and I just thought that this would be the perfect chance. So, it's exactly how it sounds. I'm just taking some softened butter, putting it on the French bread, then take maybe 1 or 2 slices of radish. And these radishes are red and or purple radishes that I've sliced paper thin, like I can see through them. Just put those on top. Sprinkle it with a little sea salt. And then you're done. So that's our first course. Now I'll start the second. Okay, so now I am I'm cutting and trimming these radishes, or not radishes, beets off of the beet greens off of the stems. Because sometimes people won't use beet greens and stuff. That's just creating more waste. Because we're also going to be using these beets in another dish. But I didn't want to throw away the greens and create waste. Just like we're doing with just like what we're doing with the green beans, how we're saving the pods and using them for something else. So I'm going to do some more prep work and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, so I got these really good green beans. I got them from Green Gate Farm. And Green Gate Farms is a small organic farm out in East Austin. And me and my class go out to the farm once a Friday to learn about organic farming and how to grow stuff and other stuff like that. And we recently found out that Green Gate Farms was bought and they're going to bulldoze Green Gate Farms. So just please be mindful of that and donate to Green Gate Farms so that they can buy their land back. So back to the cooking. We're going to take these green beans and we're going to blanch them, which means we're going to like super quickly boil them and then dump them in a tub of ice water. And then we're going to cut them, take out the beans, use that in the salad, and we're going to use the pods as vessels for a cheese that we're right about to make. So I'm going to put these in and I'm not going to drop them in. I'm going to slowly sink them in because I don't want boiling hot water all over my body because that doesn't feel very good. So we'll be right back after these are done blanching. Green beans have just done cooking for about 2 minutes in the boiling water. And as soon as that 2 minutes are up, I took them out and put them in the ice water. So it stops the cooking process, so they're really hard, because we don't want it to be really soggy and the cream cheese won't hold. It also holds the color, so it's a really nice bright green. It's not like dark and So, yeah. So now we're going to take out the beans and put the cream cheese in the pods. Okay, so the green beans are done drying. Remember, we blanched them. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take out the beans on the inside. They're actually smaller than I expected them to be. and we're gonna cut open the bean, and then we're gonna put some of the cream cheese inside of the bean, and just squash it like that. So to open up the bean, on most green beans, there should be a line down there. And so you gotta be very careful when you're doing this. So take the knife, make a small slit. You don't wanna cut through the entire bean. But so then you can just run your fingernail through it. Okay, that's the size that I wanted them to be. Oops, so you see like that? I accidentally cut through it. I can still use the beans, and I can find a way to squish these together. But I shouldn't just throw them out, because the whole reason that I'm using the outsides of the green beans too is so that I'm not wasting anything. Because like there's too much waste in the world today. Okay, so to finish off our second course, which is the sauté of shredded beets, the beans from the green beans, the beet tops, and the shrimp, which we're going to add in later. We're going to take a pan with some extra virgin olive oil, and once it's hot, we're going to throw in the beet greens. Oh, we are having a beet top malfunction. That's probably the first and last time I will say that in my entire life. But so you can tell that it's hot if it explodes like that. So I'm just going to move them around. You want them to get all nice and oily. And then I'm going to add in these. Ow, ow, I'm getting splattered with oil. These are the beans from the green beans. Okay, this is really blowing up in my face, but that's okay. So again, I'm always moving these around, so every part of everything is always getting cooked. So now I'm going to add in a handful, just a little bit of the beet shredding, just maybe about that much. And now my hand is staying red. So let me wash my hands. Okay, so I finished chopping up my herbs. This is dill, cilantro, sweet basil, and chives. And this is 4 ounces of cream cheese. And so I'm just gonna take this herbs and I'm gonna put it in there. And you can adjust. We're gonna take this and we're gonna put them in the green bean pot. Okay, so I've just finished this one. Okay, so you might be wondering why I have this gigantic jalapeno pepper on my cutting board. That's because to give the marinara sauce that we're making for the linguine a little kick, we're gonna make it spicy. And so I'm going to chop up this jalapeno, and I'm not gonna use all of it. I mean, if I put this entire jalapeno in a marinara sauce, my head would probably explode. We don't want there to be big, like fat slabs of jalapeno in our sauce. It wouldn't be very good. But we want the sauce to be spicy. So when I'm done with this, we'll do the next step. Okay, so for our linguine, we're going to make a spicy marinara sauce. And I'm going to add in the canned tomatoes. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in, so now I'm just going to grate in a little bit of black pepper. 1 second. That black pepper isn't working. So we are going to get another. So for the 5th course, we're going to make a smoothie. It's a banana, orange juice, and strawberry smoothie. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add in, I mean, it doesn't exactly matter how much, but how many strawberries you have, you're gonna wanna have about that much in bananas. So I'm just going to put in the strawberries into my blender, And I'm first just gonna blend up the strawberries, or else all the bananas and all the orange juice won't fit. Okay, so after I've blended it up, I've added in the rest of the bananas and blended it some more. So now, so that it'll stay colder for longer, and it'll give it a little bit of texture, I'm just gonna add in some ice. Just gonna blend it even more. So when you stop hearing a kind of crunching sound, then you know it's okay. So that's the smoothie. Just pour that into some cups and drink. So let me just have a. Oh, that is really good. That's really good. Okay, so for our final course, we're going to be making a nice butter cookie with a honey chocolate sauce. We're just going to whisk it up until it's really creamy, and we'll be back. This is the texture. So this is the texture we're aiming for. It's really smooth, and I mean, if I just hold it like this, it starts to kind of flatten out. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get the most we can out of the bowl. We're going to put this in and we're going to flatten this, and we want to make it relatively flat. You know what I'm going to do? Just like that. I'm getting my anger out. About halfway through, I'm going to preheat the oven to 400 degrees, and I'll see you when it comes out. Okay, so we're going to be making the honey chocolate sauce for the cookies. And just the thing about the cookies, I made them so thin that they literally cooked in like 2 minutes. And just while that's heating up, I'd just like to say something about this honey, about how bees, if there weren't bees on this planet, about a third of our food would be gone because they pollinate so much of our food. Okay, so just before this video is over, I'd like to thank 3 people. One is my mom for filming everything except for one scene and being my sous chef, and my waitress for the meal. I'd also like to thank Miss Hidalgo for assigning this totally awesome project. I mean, we got to cook for school. I'd also like to thank Mark Paul for letting me interview him on his own time. Like, instead of prepping the meal for dinner, because they're only open for dinner, you gotta go to Wink. So he let me interview him during his prep time. So just thanks to all of you. Now you're gonna see the credits.